Coach Lava at the ICA. We're here with our Grandmaster coach, Alex Stripunsky. Alex, I wanted to ask you, like right now, Hikaru is he's trying to get into the candidates tournament. What do you think about his going around to, the Iowa Open, things like that?
Seems like it's a plan. I'm not sure how good this plan is because, in those tournaments, there is always a risk you lose one game, you lose like immediately 10 rating points. On the other hand, probability that Hikaru will lose a game to the player like 22, 2300 is pretty much close to be zero. But on the other hand, he needs to win like tons of games to get the points he needs. So I wish him well. Anyway, wish him well.
What do you think? What do you think his chances are? I mean, in the last candidates tournament, I think he finished third. What do you think his chances are this time around? Better, worse, equal?
Um, for the player of his caliber, there is always a chance. There is always a chance. Um, his rivals also very strong players, but you know, um, Caruana has fantastic chances as well. I'm rooting for both of them. So if either of them will be nominated, it will be holiday for American chess.
That's true. I mean, and then the other thing is, let's say he does get through, he could potentially join the faces on the walls behind you. You have all the world champions back there, and is there some part of you that maybe wants him to win because you have wins against him? You've played him many times before, and you could say, "Hey, I beat the world champion."
That would be nice. That definitely would be nice. Yeah, I played Hikaru many times, dozens of times, and have few wins. Some of them are pretty memorable, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I definitely wanted to check one of them out. There's like there's obviously there's a lot of games that are interesting, but there's one that's around 20 moves long. We were discussing it earlier. And maybe, if you could share the screen, you could take us through it.
Sure. Yeah, so um, that was a game from New York Masters tournament back to 2004. New York Masters was fantastic tournament played every Tuesday, I believe, at Marshall, organized by Greg Shahade. And sometimes, it was like 20 people playing and 12 grandmasters. Uh, so the tournaments were very strong. I think we played in the last round, if I remember correctly. So Slav defense. I chose A6 variation, um, which maybe came as a surprise for Hikaru. Probably he was expecting some sort of Miran. He chose Queen C2 and C5 is a transformation to symmetrical Tarrasch is a logical choice in this kind of positions. Hikaru takes. I think B3 is the main move, but okay, he takes. Bishop takes c5, bishop e2, um, castle knight d7, sorry. Black cannot hold the pawn, obviously, b5, white plays just a4 before knight e4 and comfortably gets the pawn back. So yeah, played knight d7, Hikaru plays a4. I need to finish development, so b6 and bishop b7 quite logical. He plays queen e2, queen c7, and e4. Yeah, and here I got an idea to put some pressure on his king side by playing knight g4, and after h3 played h5.
Yeah, I mean this I'm sorry. This is definitely something where like, whenever you put at least below, at my level, let's say, whenever you put a knight or something on G4, you should expect H3, and I guess you were planning to play H5. This is a pretty standard idea, right?
Yes, I was planning to play h5. I was pretty sure it's totally justified. Um, at this point, I have pretty good control on the center. My pieces are active, so chances for attack are very good. So Hikaru plays bishop a2. He feels uncomfortable to keep a bishop here in some lines, like after bishop f2 or knight f2, bishop could be under the pressure. And here is queen g3 coming with a huge threat of knight e5. So Hikaru plays knight d1. To be honest, I did not clearly understand the idea behind knight d1, and it came absolutely obvious to me only after knight e5 that he is preparing king h1. It became obvious when he made this move on the board. Now it turned out that f2 square is well defended and I have to sacrifice a piece. I wasn't too worried uh, about this kind of sacrifice because obviously black has fantastic compensation. Later, when I analyzed the game, turned out that black position is simply dominating here. By the way, white cannot take with knight, of course, because of knight takes f3 and white cannot protect the h2 square. So he takes rook takes f2.
Do,
And
do you
all what,
know do you
yeah,
know what Hikaru should have? I mean, so would knight D1 be the mistake? Usually you boil it down to one particular mistake in a game.
uh, he had better chances to defend. Yes, if he doesn't play knight d1 and king h1, but it would be a totally different story.
Of course.
So um, I played rook d8. At this point, rook takes d2 is the threat, and pay attention that all black pieces, literally, all of them participating in the game. So if we are talking about attack against the king, there are two main factors you have to keep in mind. Attackers versus defenders ratio should be good for you, and the other one is possibility to destroy pawn shield around your opponent's king. So I think black has good chances for attack in this situation because we match both points. Black has more attackers and white's pawn shield is getting destroyed. So Hikaru played bishop e3, rook takes d1 was a threat, so bishop e3, and after bishop e4, um, king g1, black has a forced win already. Knight takes f3, rook takes f3, bishop takes f3, and turns out that after queen takes f3, I can simply liquidate the winning game. After queen e1, queen f1, takes, rook takes d1, rook takes d1, and knight takes e3. So white resigned. Um, that was pretty pleasant feeling to beat a player like this in 20 moves. Um, but yeah,
Mhm.
that happens. Okay, sometimes it happens.
Um, he was, I mean, at that point, he was already a grandmaster, correct? Like, I think
Yes,
2000.
he was a grandmaster. He was a grandmaster. I think. Um, I think we met in the final of US Championship in the playoff just 1 year after this.
Hmm.